We're live.
We're live. How is everybody?
And I think we're on time. Yes, we're a minute early.
We're early for a change. Liz was early. That's not like you.
No, it's not like me at all.
How is everybody? I hope you're all doing really well. We have had an absolutely manic few weeks with Strongman.
Splat Boy showing off with his
Splat Boy.
custom emojis. I must have more. I'm allowed 10 now.
Yes.
So, yes.
The custom emojis. What emojis did you do and what is the reason for the emojis?
You can
I
see
can see
them.
I can see my
Splat Boy
gorgeous
shoes
face
then.
there. Yeah.
So one of them is me swearing. Yours is a LOL face. And then mine is a yikes face. Little members perks. But yeah. Sorry, I don't know why there's more of me than there is of you.
You just wanted to make it that way, didn't you? You know, by the end there'll be like 9 of you and 1 of me.
Indeed.
Hey, how is everybody? I hope you're all doing really well. Obviously, been an exciting few weeks in Strongman. We were at the Arnold's this weekend, which was just an amazing weekend. So good for Strongman. Obviously, there was the Pro Strongman Show taking place. Official Strongman did the Deadlift and the Log Lift World Championships, which was cool to see. Lots of different weight classes, the male and female classes, and just the popularity of Strongman in general. We were mobbed.
We were mobbed. You've got to say hi to Bron Chopped and Jamie. Oh, how do we say his name? It's not
Coton.
Coton. Jamie
It's not Cotton. It's Coton.
It's Coton. There we go. Can we get a who, yeah?
Go for it.
I did. Go on. Now it's your turn.
Who, yeah?
Oh, please.
I can do better.
Yeah, go on. Go on then.
Who, yeah?
There you go. Oh, there we go. Look, Colorado Awesome Sauce. What is this? Right. 1, 2, 3.
Who, yeah? I don't even know what we're doing. Thank you very much, Colorado Awesome Sauce, though, for making us do that.
Yes. And hello, Callum, also. So, Giants Live have announced the official lineup for Britain's Strongest Man. No real surprises, except, I guess, the omission of Gav Bilton, who's not going to be doing it. Gav just hasn't. He's burnt out, isn't he? So I think he's
absolutely big. Gav, he's had a very busy year. He's had a successful year. He defended his Welsh title. He won UK Strongest Man for the second time, and he was just back-to-back Giants Live show after Giants Live show, other shows as well.
Yeah,
the guy needs a rest. He needs to just focus on himself for a little bit. I think it's so easy when you're sort of on that way up to feel like you have to do everything.
Yeah,
and I think he was feeling that pressure. I think some time off is going to be great for him. But yeah, they've got, who do we have? We have Desmond Garn replacing Gav. So great to see Des get his chance at a Giants Live.
He came second in Welsh Strongest Man, just for those who are wondering how he qualified.
He's an athlete that's kind of on the rise. I saw him first a few years back in the junior championships.
Yeah,
very good deadlifter, improving fast, and it's going to be good to see him get his opportunity here. I don't expect him to do too much in terms of challenge the top guys, but giving these athletes the chance at these levels is how they're going to get better. So good to see.
Indeed. Say hello to
Big Head Nasty. Thank you very, very much for the super chat, my friend. Always good to have you two talking Strongman. Thank you very much. Well, we'll talk Strongman and we'll talk some rubbish as well, knowing us.
Mostly rubbish, probably.
Heidi, hey Heidi, how you doing?
And to Callum also. Todd. Oh, the events are going to be announced tomorrow. So you heard about them a while ago, but we're not sure.
I do know what they are, but I think Giants Live are going to announce them officially tomorrow.
11 a.m. UK time. So we won't steal their thunder because we're nice people like that. John Wick. Thank you, John Wick, as well. Right, let's go down. Jamie
Coton.
Look, hey guys, you got it. Uncle Loz got it spot on. Auntie Liz, good attempt, not quite. Honestly, we all know pronunciation isn't my thing. I do my absolute.
Do you know what?
Best.
When we're sort of going through a lot of strongmen, it's difficult because I have a really hard name to pronounce. So it's been butchered many times.
Yeah, I can't.
So I don't feel that bad when I get other people's names wrong. No. I try and get it right, and obviously we always ask the athletes to correct us if we're wrong. So if we shout out anyone's name and it's wrong, by all means, get the athletes to correct us, because sometimes people try and correct you and they're wrong.
Yeah.
I always go on what the athletes tell me. That's kind of.
Then we get very confused, don't we? Colorado Awesome Sauce, thank you. You'll have to watch Big Tom's. More sexual. Now I watched the live, and I'm guessing it's the really high pitched. Ooh, yeah.
Does that noise come out of
Correct.
Tom?
Yes.
Wow, I need to go and see this.
Higher even. Honestly, it was most impressive to see such a high note come out of such a big man. So yeah, they did their first live just before the Arnolds, which I happily sat down and watched because I am a Stoltman's fan. There we go, Seb.
Everyone is a Stoltman's fan. You've got to be fans of the Stoltmans.
When is Colin losing his hair after your Albert Hall bet win? Love the channel. Keep up the great work.
So technically, Colin has got out of that. He said I had to come top 6, apparently.
That I've gone back, I've listened to the tapes, and that is nonsense.
So I came 7th.
Finish,
Yeah.
Colin,
I think I said I've got to finish, and then he was sort of umming and changed it to, oh, now you've got to come top 6, which I was close to doing.
I think the reality is, like many men of a certain age, Colin is quite attached to his hair and would be quite scared that it wouldn't come back. So
he doesn't want to look like me.
No, he's not ready.
He's not ready for that.
We've let him keep it for now. But I think he knows not to bet against
Marco K, thank you very much for the super chat. Big up from Poland. Good to see we've got some Polish fans in the house.
Poland.
That's awesome.
Someone's asked me, sorry, I can't remember who, but how my thumb is after going up against Andy.
Big Andy took that seriously, didn't he?
He did, too seriously for my liking. Do you know what? And I know people will say, oh, I don't know, but I let him win. I really did, because he had me going around like a rag doll.
He
we were starting to
around.
Cause a scene. People were starting to look and I was getting embarrassed. But I have said to him, like, I am willing to go all out. Yeah, but maybe in privacy. I don't mind witnesses, but not in a big public space like that. I try and be a lady in public. I don't want to be thrown around the room by my thumb. So the rematch is going to happen at some point.
I need to trim this beard. It's like I've got no teeth when I'm smiling at the moment.
I'm going to get in touch with Betfred and see if they want to
take odds on you versus Andy.
Honestly, I think people will be surprised of what my thumb is capable of. There we go. Who's that? Ian McKenzie. Thank you so much, Ian. I have a sore shoulder and it's clicking when I rotate it. I started doing
lat raises, I think.
Lat raises to help it. Any opinions? They are lateral raises that go past the shoulder and finish with both arms raised ahead.
The best thing to do is go and see a physio or a specialist, to be honest, because the shoulder's a complicated joint. You get the pec, the delts, the lats, the bicep, the tricep, they all attach into the shoulder. So there can be many reasons for something like this. And it's better to see someone rather than just go online and kind of guess what's wrong with it. I would always go to a professional, try and figure out exactly what's wrong. Then when you know the issue, then you can sort of figure out what exercises you should be doing, whether it's like massage that's more needed or certain muscles that need strengthening up. Often the rear delts are kind of weaker because they get neglected in a lot of these movements. So often people find their rear delts are weaker, and that's something that people should address in their training. But yeah, I don't want to sort of suggest things without knowing exactly what's wrong.
Someone said, look, Fat Albert said, Liz, a good singer.
Are you?
Yes. You could tell by my ooh, yeah. Right. Have I addressed the super chats? I think I have. So let's go into the other comments.
Yes.
Someone's asked us if we can talk about the Arnold Strongman Classic, please. What's that say?
So the Arnold.
Oh, no. America's Strongest Man. Sorry. ASM.
Do you know what? We haven't watched it. If we're totally honest, I haven't had the chance to watch America's Strongest Man. And I would like a chance to watch it, but America's Strongest Man, sadly, doesn't have a lot of the top Americans in it.
No.
And that's not to say the guys that won weren't incredible athletes, because they're new guys that are coming through often that don't get opportunities that some of the guys have. But you never have like Lissis, Brian Shaw, you know.
It's a stepping stone though, isn't it? Because the American system's quite different because they have their pro cards and everything, which we don't have anymore.
If you look at Britain's Strongest Man, we have our absolute best athletes competing in it. So you've got Bish, both Stoltmans, you know, Felix, Hicksey, Pyro Dwyer. I don't know how he gets in there, but Pyro Dwyer.
He's so mean to Par.
No, it's Britain's Strongest Man,
because
isn't it?
To be fair, he doesn't live in Britain. No, he doesn't. I thought you meant he wasn't good enough.
Yeah, but and I guess over here it gets a lot of attention, whereas America's Strongest Man doesn't get a huge amount of attention.
Ours is on Channel 5 primetime TV over Christmas, though, so it is quite a big deal for the British athletes.
They make a big deal out of it. Unfortunately, America's Strongest Man just isn't at that level yet. I wish it was, because I think I wish all these strongman comps were.
Of course.
But I would just be guessing if I said talk about America's Strongest Man. I do
Quick,
want
get
to get a chance
results.
to look at it, but I just haven't had a chance. There's so many shows that are happening, and obviously I focus on the ones that I'm either involved with mainly or that tend to have the bigger names competing in.
Is there a throwing event at Britain's Strongest Man?
No, not that I believe.
Unless they've added one, then no, there isn't.
From the events that I've been told, no throwing event.
Okay.
And I'm just trying to think if there's any different events. There's a couple of different events that we haven't seen this year as well. So some that we have seen. But I think it's a good set of events, to be honest. I think people will be pretty happy.
Is the axle deadlift in there? Can you tell us that much? It is.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Colorado Awesome Sauce. I doubt Obus could win America's Strongest Man. I think he's involved in a conversation here, and
Possibly,
that's not necessarily
possibly.
directed at us.
I think the standard is high. You know, it's just new guys. I believe the guy that won was actually an amateur. Or...
Yeah, Jamie Silvers, I think his name is.
And you know, I've never heard of this guy, so good for him to come in and prove that he's at that level.
There's so many strongman shows. Which one is the top that matters and counts?
Which show matters the most? The biggest show is without question World's Strongest Man. Now, is it the best test of strength? That's a different argument completely. But in terms of worldwide appeal, in terms of sponsorship for the athletes, in terms of real prestige, it is without question the biggest event. It has the most people that watch it worldwide, and 90% of the athletes, I would say, probably higher than that, all want to be the world's strongest man.
Yeah, of course.
It's the major title in strongman. There are now other shows that, if you're a hardcore strongman fan and as an athlete wanting an opportunity to earn some money, there's shows that are better in terms of prize money. Mm-hmm. But in terms of prestige, World's Strongest Man is still head and shoulders above any other show.
Wesley, I don't think your comment attached to your super chat. So if you just type it without a super chat, we will I'll keep an eye out for it for you. Yes, thank you very much. Who's this? Mad Zanta. Why are there so few top-level Russian strongmen that we get to see? Given the monsters they have when it comes to arm wrestling, there must be more strongmen as well.
Do you know what? There are some awesome Russian strongmen right now that are coming through. We saw last weekend.
Yes.
In the Middle Eastern Strongest Man.
Are you trying to remember his name?
Markov.
Yeah, that's
it. Markov, he's very good. He won the amateur Arnold's last year, or the year before.
Yeah. No, it was last year, and he should have done the strongman. The Arnold Classic this year. Christ.
Yeah. He is an exceptional strongman. There are others as well that are coming through. It's just again about getting that popularity worldwide. I think as strongman grows, we're going to see more and more impressive athletes from all over.
Yeah,
because
definitely.
we know there's freaks of nature out there that are just super strong. We see it now. You know, you see more and more guys in powerlifting, in other strength sports. But it all comes down to where the sports are popular.
Yeah.
I've said that a few times. And, you know, if you're in America, you get pushed towards American football and, you know, baseball and basketball. Whereas, you know, over in the UK, it's more soccer or football to, you know, English people.
Yeah.
I'm just aware that we have a few Americans that watch the channel.
Bigger American following than we do British, which is really... That's great. Colby, we love you too. Thank you so much for flexing their emojis there. Possible pilot deviation. Thank you so much for the super chat. I'm sitting in class in graduate school, saw the notice for this, had to stop my studies and send a chat.
Oh, good man. We hope we don't get you in trouble, but studying is important.
Yes. We're not the most studious people though, are we?
Well, no. Well, we when we're interested in something, we are.
Yeah, we can be nerdy, can't we? Oh, Lord. Liz, you're shown in World's Strongest Man 2014 in the audience and more than most of the athletes. Do you know what, Josh? I was quite bored that year. So I was looking for the camera. It was easy to do then because
there was hardly anyone
was there. So I used to say, right, I'll stand.
You had fun that year in the crowd. Do you remember?
The yoke.
Yes,
I do. The yoke in the group stages.
I had the yoke against
Nick Best
Zadrunas and Nick Best were in my group, and Nick Best put in a really good time. Nick's very good at the yoke.
And Dimitar was stood next to me and he said, no one's going to beat that time. And like being really anxious about him about to go, I was like, you know, Loz is up next, right? Like, you know, why are you being rude to me, Dimitar? I don't think he meant to be. And then Loz absolutely smashed it. And I was like, I got a bit carried away. I was like, eat that, Dimitar. I don't know what came over.
Left Zadrunas for dust. So
yes,
that was good.
Gabriel, thank you so much for the super chat. After the success of Markov and Wuss, who would you say are the most underrated strongman in America, Europe, and the rest of the world that could surprise us? Ooh,
That's a tough question. There's so many guys out there.
Markov is absolutely one of them, though.
Markov's proved it the last few. I mean, if you look at his last 3 big contests, he was second in the Siberian Power Show to Janasha.
Yeah.
And we all know how good Janasha is.
Yeah.
He's won the amateur Arnold. He's won the Wuss qualifier in the Middle East. So it's going to be exciting to see him get that opportunity to compete against, you know, the absolute best in the world. I think from looking at his results, he's going to do very well. He's a strong guy, and his stones are unbelievable. His log lifting's really good. He
Some
moves
of the
well.
stuff he's posted on Instagram is seriously impressive.
Yeah.
There's a video on YouTube as well of him lapping a 257 kilo stone. I think that was the weight of it. So
the real thing with strongman, there's so many amazing athletes. What makes you a great strongman is when you are good at everything. So there's lots of guys out there that are world class on certain things, but it's the guys that can do everything that will consistently score well in competitions. You know, I think it is Wesley Claiborne, a great stone lifter.
Yeah.
And, you know, he goes to some competitions, just doesn't do so well in some other events, but he's an amazing stone lifter. He's amazing at a few other events, just has weaknesses. And there's other guys, there's guys that are amazing at the log, but they're not good at anything else. There's guys that are amazing at deadlifting, but they're not good at everything else. You look at the best in the world, like Novikov, for instance. He's not necessarily the best in the world at many events, but he's consistently good at loads of events. What are you laughing at?
Bloody Colorado Awesome Sauce. Thanks for the super chat. Who do you think is overrated? I'll go first. You can't ask us that. That's, you know, don't blame the player, blame the game.
Yes.
If someone's overrated, then that is the fault of
I actually think Oberst is a really, really smart guy. He's marketed himself very, very well, and he is a decent strongman. You know, we can joke about, but Oberst is good. I've just said in the past, I don't think he's, you know, at the level that maybe some people put him at, but he's still a great strongman. He's got some events. Again, Oberst is one of those guys. He has some very good events, some weaknesses that you'd probably put. I'd say there's like 3 or 4 guys that are consistently the best, and then there's a whole group of guys that can all beat each other.
Oh, I feel like my chair is collapsing.
It's probably a chair that I've been sitting on.
Yeah. Here we go. I think this is Wesley. Is this the Wesley? What were your jobs before Strongman and YouTube? Wesley, if you were super chat, Wesley, then thank you for the super chat. If not, then keep trying. So what was your last job before being a strongman, Leslie?
I've been a pro strongman for a fair few years now, but I've done many jobs in the past. I was actually a school sports coordinator in a school, so I was involved in organizing sports events for sort of primary schools in the area. And before that, I've done all sorts. I've worked in a petrol station. I've worked in a shoe shop. I worked on a delivery store.
You owned a mobile cafe.
Owned a mobile cafe. I did a lot of things. Literally, when I was at school, all I ever wanted to be was a pro athlete. I was just like obsessed with being a pro athlete.
And you did it.
And I did it.
Yeah.
I didn't make a huge amount of money being a pro athlete, but I loved it, and it's given me the opportunity now to do some of the other stuff that I'm doing.
You chose the wrong sport.
I did definitely choose the wrong sport in terms of financial reward, but I've loved, even with all the setbacks that I've had. I look back and I'm very sort of privileged to have done what I've been able to do and compete at the level that I got to. And it's funny because it is a tough sport, and I think it's important that people love it first.
Yeah, you have to love it to put yourself through it, don't you? And my job was, I used to work for Tesco. I had the best job in the company. So I worked for head office, and every day I'd go to a different store, and I'd go in and absolutely ruin everyone's day. And I'd say, I'm here to do your compliance audit. And then I'd check through their cash systems, their payroll systems.
Imagine Liz turning up and ruining people's day.
Do you know what? I always did it with a smile. People hated being audited, but they said they didn't mind me. And
you were their favorite.
I was their favorite monster. But they used to, like, it was great. They used to get me breakfast and drinks. Obviously, I couldn't accept bribes, but that was my job. The Veiled Sage, thank you so much for the super chat. Oh, I like this. Mr. and Mrs. Auntie Liz. Do we have any more news on Wuss Dubai 2 going ahead in December?
Not currently.
No, I spoke to Don a week or two ago because I wanted to book a holiday in December. And I was like, Don, let me know. Do you have any dates? And he said they're looking at the week before Christmas, but nothing was confirmed. So I just had to go ahead and book my holiday.
Yeah, we want to take the family away, don't we?
We want to take the kids away, just give them something to look forward to. There we go. I think we're mostly caught up. Colorado Awesome Sauce is back. The little
He's
links.
A pot stirrer. Yes, he is indeed.
Come on, guys. You know I'm a pot stirrer. LOL. My first super chat was me being from Colorado. I bet you can guess who I want for World's Strongest Man. Big Tom Stoltman. He's a monkey, isn't he?
Yes. He's well, I'm taking it. He's a Brian Shaw fan.
A Brian Shaw fan. No, he's actually a Tom Stoltman fan.
Is he?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I remember this before. He was like, oh, I'm from Colorado, but I really want Tom to win.
Okay.
Yeah. So I have a good memory. There we go.
Well, no, Tom's a lovely guy.
Liz should do an audit on Giant Slime and Wuss. Thank you for the super chat, Miguel.
We could do reviews on each competition.
No, I should definitely order them. Check their finances and check everything. What's going on here then? We're in a few more days, just for old time's sake. There you go.
Have we told people the lineup for Britain's? I know it's been announced on Giants Live.
I just said there's been no surprises except Gav Bilton's sign. So go on then. Do you want to run through it?
So there's only really two names that you might not have heard of. Is Desmond Garn and Shane Flowers. Shane won a competition earlier this year, which was a qualifier to give people a chance to do this show. Very good deadlifter, young lad that's on his way up. I think he's going to be very, very good in a couple of years. Then we've got Desmond, who is second to Gav Bilton in Wales Strongest Man. And then it's kind of the regular names that you'd expect. So Paul Smith. Paul Smith is very quietly been doing extremely well on the national scene this year. He's looking forward to this opportunity. We have Para Dwyer. Wasn't feeling too well on the weekend. Pa wasn't.
No,
was
he told me it was just a touch of COVID.
I don't think it was.
As he was coming closer and closer.
But hopefully he'll be okay for that. Then we have Mark Felix, who actually performed the best I've seen him all year on the weekend at the Arnold's. His speed on the frame was unbelievable. His Hercules hold was back to winning ways. His deadlift's a little bit down. I'm not going to, make excuses for him. That's a bit down. I was speaking to him about that as well. And he thinks
he did have a
change a few things.
As well,
he did earlier in the year, but they were a good set of events for him. I'm not so convinced that the events are going to be as good for him.
In the comments, it was COVID, so I was. Hi, Pa. Nice to have you with us.
Well, we hope you get better soon, Pa.
And I hope it wasn't
Mr.
bloody
Maguire.
COVID.
Who else do we have? Then we have
We've got
Pa.
Both Stoltman brothers.
Both Stoltmans, Bish,
Andy
Hixie,
Black.
Andy Black. Yes.
Yeah.
You got an early prediction from those?
I kind of do, but I don't think it will be popular. And I'm gonna keep my cards close to my chest. I want confirmation on the events first, but
see, I think it's between two guys.
I do too.
And I think third and fourth is between two guys.
Yeah, I do too.
And I think fifth is between three guys.
I do too.
So we'll keep those quiet. I think we've missed a few.
Yes, we have. We have to catch up now. Hold on, let me just make sure I haven't missed anyone.
I think it's Heidi's the next one.
Yeah.
There we go.
Thank you so much, Heidi. Take them to Disney World. I will help you plan.
We would love to go to Disneyland.
Yeah.
Maybe next year.
That's
World.
Definitely a 2-week trip coming from over here. And we only really had a week to play with. So but we definitely will before they get too big and too boring.
Love to take them there. That'd be amazing.
I don't think kids ever get too big for Disneyland though. I want to go. So we all know.
I want to go.
I'm no child.
I'm just trying to bring my weight down. I'm down. I weighed myself today. I'm 313 pounds.
That's a good point.
From a biggest of 372 pounds.
We haven't tested in a while, but normally Loz can't go on any ride that requires the thing to come over.
I think in America it'll be much better.
You think they'll allow for more space? Well, in England he can't. He can only go on things that don't require a sort of over the head harness, and you like a bar over the lap.
Yeah.
You're
I
usually.
want to get down to
fine.
300 before we go on holiday this year.
Yeah,
That's the goal. I'm trying to hold on to as much muscle as I can whilst reduce my body fat.
there we go. Colorado Awesome Sauce is back. Thank you so much. I was at the Shore Classic. I was rooting for JF.
Everyone's got a root for JF. He's just.
You're such a huge JF fan, aren't you?
I am.
JF was looking jacked at the weekend. Did you see him?
He's a big
in
dude.
the video.
He's a big dude.
He's just like,
his traps are looking massive.
yeah, insane. Here we go. Alan, thank you so much, Alan. Do you know what's happened to Ben Brunning and will he be back?
He's slowly coming back.
Is he? I've heard he's retired completely.
Has he?
Yeah.
Who told you that?
Oh, I read it online. Hold on.
I spoke to him a couple of months back, and he said he was training. He had a serious back injury, and that's kind of obviously held him back. But hopefully he'll make a comeback. I will find out for sure. We'll have to get Ben on at some point and have a chat with him. But he's looking fitter and healthier, and hopefully not in any pain. Anyway, Liz is looking at who she's been talking to.
He's losing weight. I know that much. I don't know, but yeah, we'll find out for certain.
There we go. Do you want to read this one out?
W, thank you, W. Any thoughts about negativity around Giants Live, like repetitive events, limited athlete selection, and fueling Eddie versus Thor bullshit? Loved the worst qualifier.
Events I do think need a little bit more variety. I would like to see a little bit of different events happening. I guess one of the issues is we've had a lot of competitions in a short period of time.
Isn't it?
So it's almost I think
it sort of stood out more than
I mean
before.
They have two sets of axles, which is probably confusing because it's two different deadlifts. It's two slight variations of a deadlift, and they did have the deadlift for Max in Manchester.
Yeah.
They've had log, they've had axle, they've had log for reps, they've had dumbbell. So they're varying things. I get a bit bored of the stones every single competition, and I've said that before. I do. People probably think I don't like stones. I do like stones. I just get a bit bored of them being in everything. And I think that the standard that we see from the guys, I think we could do with the heavier set of stones.
Yeah, yeah, definitely.
You know, now that
I understand why they did the lighter set.
The top guys are doing them between 16 and 20 seconds. So I'd like to see, some. I mean, the argument is that the guys are so battered, they're trying to make it a bit easier on them. But then you've got that 360 deadlift, axle deadlift, which is bloody hard. And guys smashing out 8 reps on it. So yeah. I think the problem is the guys are just so good that you need those slightly heavier weights to really separate them. As for what we're saying,
limited athlete selection, I would have liked if they did 12 guys per show, because nearly every single event is head to head.
Yeah.
So they can get through them quite quickly, the athletes.
The pace of the shows now is extremely hard on the athletes.
And I would like 10 of, whoever they want or deem, should be going to the show. But then 2 sort of upcomers each show.
That would be cool to see.
Like we saw Handsome Hansen, and
I think it would be good to give 2 new guys an opportunity at each show.
But planned well in advance, so they've got time to really train and peak for that competition, to really show what they're made of. I would like to see that.
I mean, one thing you have to understand for all promoters, running a sport like Strongman, it's just like boxing, It's so easy for an athlete to get an injury leading up to a show that you then have the last minute changes. We've seen it in Giants Live, we've seen it in Worst, we've seen it at the Shore Classic. Every competition may announce athletes that then suddenly a guy gets an injury the week before, has to pull out, they've got to get someone new in. So I don't like being too critical of them because it is really hard.
All promoters have had problems this year.
It's not just been injuries.
No,
it's been flying to places. The cost to get people to events right now is
conflicting
when
schedules.
You've got not just the flights to think about, but then all the testing that has to go on at the moment to get people over. So sometimes I think promoters are probably going for a safer choice. They know, they don't have to.
It's less likely to be.
We've had to go abroad a couple of times, and you're waiting for a negative COVID test to allow you to fly.
Yeah, it's very stressful.
Suddenly, if people fail that just before they're about to fly, it's a lot of money because the flights already have to be paid for. If that doesn't work out, and then you've got to fork out for more flights, it's just a hard time to put on some of these big events. Now, I think we've had a good mix of athletes when you look at the whole season. But of course, we want to see more guys. You know, I want to see more people getting opportunities because there are so many great athletes out there.
What about the fueling of the Eddie versus Thor thing?
Um,
It doesn't surprise me because Eddie is part of Giants Live, so
Yeah.
it makes sense that they'll use their platform for free promotion for it.
I guess so.
They've
I mean,
got a fight to sell, haven't they?
I think, I guess one of the issues is the records. You know, how can Iron Bibby's record be a record and
God.
Eddie's record? Sorry,
Why do you
Thor's
have to
record?
bring it up, Loz?
Well, it's one of the things there.
No, they're just talking about the fight, surely.
I've said as well openly, although the records are great, I prefer seeing the whole competitions.
Yeah. Right, hold on. Oh,
back up.
where are we going? Where are we going? I try and
that was right. I think was that one.
No. Hold on, we're just making sure
There
we
we go.
haven't missed anyone.
There you go.
There we go, John.
John WK.
To buy Auntie Liz, Uncle Loz, and Santa Kaz at Pa a drink after Brits. Thank you so much, John.
Thank you very much.
That means we've got to remember to buy Pa a drink.
Pa,
I think he's
are you still watching? We owe you a drink, apparently.
Well, people are talking to him in the comments by the looks of it, so I'm guessing he's still around trolling. Colorado Awesome Sauce is back. Thank you so much. My beef with Shaw is it's hard to root for him when he barely competes, and the tickets for his show cost me $500.
Wow, is that how much they cost?
Wow. Shrek lost his mind on that. I love you.
I guess it was quite an intimate show, so
yeah, it was quite exclusive when you compare it to like a Giants Live with.
And I guess like sometimes like the VIP
watching.
tickets for Giants Live are expensive, and then you look at like boxing tickets and stuff like that.
Yeah,
these shows, I guess it depends what you get out of it.
Yeah.
But it's fairly expensive.
And Brian's in a privileged position where he doesn't really have to compete very often. Obviously, being a former winner of World's Strongest Man, he's guaranteed that invitation, as are all former winners. I like the train railway carriage event. That's Nicola. Yeah, I like that.
It was a cool looking event. I think it needs to be a bit heavier, that's all. But visually, it looked really cool.
Yeah,
something different, nice thinking outside the box.
Jordan, hi, LOL. Can you please start selling signed photos on your site?
Did you say LOL?
LOL, L and out. Sorry, our daughter's got into these bloody annoying LOL things. Big style, costing us a fortune. I really want one for my Strongman collection. Also, love your content. Keep it up. That is something we used to sell them. We did, didn't we? And then we just like didn't have any recent pictures of you that were.
It's something we do want to focus on the merchandise stuff. We are in the process of potentially employing someone to
not
work
potentially. We're onboarding someone, so
we'll be able
we're going to have a much bigger
side of things because you're so busy with the YouTube side of things. I'm so busy with coaching.
Both. Yeah,
it's difficult to focus on everything, but we will be getting more things up onto the website soon.
Mad Zant is asking if there's any info from Devon and Team Armbet about Strongman staking.
When I spoke to them in Dubai, they did seem interested in doing more. So fingers crossed, we do see more opportunities for that. There's Pa. I'm
here and I'm holding John, Loz and Liz to those drinks. I promise, Pa, we will get you a drink.
What's that comment about Paul Smith?
Then was Pa. I don't know.
Paul Smith is competing at Britain's Strongest Man.
Yes,
he is 100% competing. There
we go. Farmer Dave, thank you so much for the super chat. What events do you think would be a good alternative to finishing the competition other than Atlas Stones?
I think any event. I don't think I don't think you have to have Atlas Stones as a finishing event. Definitely. You can still have Atlas Stones in the competition and have it as an earlier event. I don't always think it needs to be the final event. When you look back at World's Strongest Man, for many years, it wasn't the finishing event. Power Stairs is a cool event to finish on.
I was going to say Power Stairs.
But there's loads that you could do. You
have some sort of medley.
Yeah.
Something that makes people work hard. Maybe an endurance event for the final event, like a carry for endurance,
like a shield carry or something.
Or like the Africa Stone or something. That would be really cool.
One thing I would have liked to have seen, I actually said this to Darren, for the Strongman Classic, I wanted to see some different events, like some old school type events. So maybe like a backlift, things that were real traditional strongman events from days gone past. The other thing I'd like to see is, and maybe for one of the Giants Live, doing a team competition.
That would be really fun.
I think that would be cool.
Yeah.
Maybe like
they've never done that before. Well, not in recent years.
That Glenn Ross used to do his World Team Championships.
Giants
Live haven't done a team comp for a long time, and I think it would be quite a cool, fun thing to do. You could have 2-man team, 4-man team. You could have a mixed team, and and I think it allows people to get behind their nations as well.
Yeah.
So I think that would be cool, and you could have some different events because you could do team events that you've actually got to work together on.
Yeah, that would be good. Where are we? All right. We are on Forzel. Is that Forzel? I think Forza.
Yep, UBS.
Thank you for the super chat. Do you know what the drama Mark Boy was talking about on Instagram a few weeks back was? Well, we addressed this in a live. Sorry, I thought I felt the cat. That's your hairy leg. We addressed this on a live a couple of weeks ago, but we can address it again. Lots.
Honestly, I want to see Wuss put on great shows. I want to see Giants Live put on great shows. I don't like the clashing between promotions. I don't think it helps anyone. I don't think it helps athletes. Mark does an amazing job with Wuss, and I class him as a friend. I personally don't think he needs to even get into this. I think I think focus on doing a good job, because Wuss are genuinely doing a great job. But Giants Live do a great job as well. And now we're starting to see people kind of put these comments in. But the comments that we're seeing, you can kind of turn towards any promotion.
Yeah.
People talking about people pulling out of shows. Well, that happens to everyone.
Yeah.
Event changes, that happens to everyone.
I think the comments specific in his post about like groupings and stuff, like I said last time, we know that's talking about World's Strongest Man. And, our stance for quite some time has been like, just get rid of the groups and find a different way to format it where you can still get a few shows out of it. Yeah. Because wouldn't it be amazing to see the top 25 to 30 guys in the world doing the same events as each other and see who really is the best over more events?
I would rather see that and then break the shows down into, say, 2 events rather than having like individual shows for 5 or 6 athletes. Do everyone, but you just go through 2 or 3 events in each show. That's what I prefer. But you've got to remember, Giants Live is the World's Strongest Man qualifying tour. So that has the highest weight in terms of being seeded at World's Strongest Man. So a lot of the athletes do want to do those shows. But I think there's room for, people talk of Wuss and Giants Live. There's a lot of other promoters. There's the Strongman Champions League. There's, the Arnolds. There's a couple of others out there. There's probably about 6 or 7 different promoters that are doing shows.
Hopefully, no matter what, hopefully they can come to an amicable solution. Because I think the worst thing would be if athletes start choosing. Not even if they're forced, if they get upset by one thing a promoter's doing and then we end up with a complete split. That serves no one. That would be really bad news.
I've always said to any promoter, if you want me to be exclusive to you, you're gonna have to pay me a lot of money. And I think that's fair. And no one's doing that to any athlete, so they've all got the options to compete wherever they want.
Freedom. And I'm saying that like Braveheart style, not
Colorado Awesome Sauce. Prediction on Smith's placing on the spot. I think Paul Smith is one of the guys that has a chance of being 5th.
See, that doesn't sound great when you put it like that.
You think you can get? You think you can place above both Stoltmans, Bish, and Hicksey?
Maybe not. I don't know. I need to sit down properly and analyze it.
I can't see anyone breaking into that top 4 other than those guys, unless someone gets injured or something goes wrong. They're very, very good strongmen. All of them have decent events as well. Paul is very good. I just think they are slightly better.
Yeah, it's going to be a really tough show.
I think it's going to be a very tough show. And I think Paul Smith has a shot of 5th, along with a couple of other guys.
Inspector Haynes, thank you for the super chat. Atlas stones are rarely in comps here in Iceland. Maggie prefers the natural stones in his comps. Also love the Dubai vlogs with the strongmen.
I like the natural stones. They just look a little different. They're a bit more awkward to figure out.
Yeah.
A little bit more rustic.
Yeah. No, and one of the most impressive feats of strength I think any of us have ever seen was Mateus with those natural stones in
the shouldering.
Yes,
that, and also Poundstone at Fortissimus.
Yes,
with
of
that
course.
Kind of big tombstone.
Yeah,
if anyone's ever seen that, that was an amazing lift, to be honest.
Talking Strongman with Big Loz. We're still waiting. I promise, guys, it's coming. I went to get my beard out. I don't know where it's gone. I've had to find a new one online. I was like, originally I had a very black beard. I've started looking for something that's a bit more grey.
Yeah. Do you want me to get the Just for Men out?
No, because I've ordered a greyish beard. So don't dye it, for Christ's sake. Or I'll just be sat there with a weird grey beard. Oh,
right.
right. Let's make sure. Here we go.
Yeah,
Okay.
there you go.
So, John Young, where's the option for the membership? I can't find it anywhere. Also, do you think Countback should have been used for the last show in the dead heat? Option for membership should be on just the channel. I don't know if it shows on phones, but in our video descriptions, there is a link that says become a member, and it's just in there.
And thank you to everyone that has become a member already.
Yes.
It's very appreciated. People often, there's a few little extras for members, but more than anything, you're just supporting us and supporting Liz, because she puts all the work in. So
supporting Liz.
That's probably why there's more.
My spending
That's
habit.
probably why there's more emojis of you, isn't it?
Yeah.
As for the show, I personally, what the hell am I saying? Personally, think Countback is better than everything being on the stones.
Yeah.
Particularly for an event like that. I think if you went on Countback and say two guys had 2 wins each, and then go on the stone as the decider.
Yeah.
But where someone has won 3 events outright, I think
where it's just totally different results, because, or you could, someone made a suggestion that you could look at like their average placing over. I think there's a few ways you could do it, but I don't.
You look at different sports and there's different ways of scoring things. So, I prefer the normal old-fashioned, if you like, Countback system. It's only been the last few, I think, since 5 years or something.
They said 10 years they've been doing it like this since.
Do you know what?
The whole Brian and Zadrunas thing, but maybe we just don't have draws that often at the top, because we all get confused when it happens. We're like, what are the rules? So I guess it's making sure the rules are clear from the start of the show. That's the most important thing, because you do still get shows that go on Countback rather than the stones as a decider. Oh, Jamie, thank you for the super chat, Jamie. If Giants Live were to do a strong woman competition, who should they pick?
Oh, there's a lot of good women right now.
Is it Victoria Lane? Oh man, I'm not even going to try and list a bunch of female athletes.
All the ladies that competed in the Wuss show were great. I know a number of British girls. Rebecca Roberts. She would definitely be worthy of a spot into that. There's a number of American girls that are very good. Olga is awesome, from Ukraine. She's won the Arnold a number of times. But pretty much similar names to what we saw in Dubai, I would guess. I mean, there's going to be others. I'm just not as clued up on the female side of the sport as I am with the men. But
we're going to make a conscious effort to learn.
Absolutely.
Levi, thank you for the super chat, Levi. It's stone and or block pressing medley for a finisher.
That would be awesome.
No dropping on the head. We haven't seen block pressing for a while, have
no,
we?
It sort of goes in cycles. Stone pressing or block pressing. It's sort of 2011 time we started seeing it quite a bit.
I remember you doing it, Derek Poundstone doing it.
Yeah. And you do see that with certain events. They just go through cycles of like they're really popular, then they're not used at all, and then they're back again. I was talking about learning more about the women's side of things and the under 105s. We are hopefully going to be at the OSG event this year. And that's going to be a great opportunity to see a lot of up and coming athletes.
Yeah, that's going to be really interesting, because they have like 300 athletes.
It's stacked.
It's crazy.
The OSG is quite cool though, because if you can be anyone in the world. All you have to do is the online qualifier, and if you qualify, you get invited, and the winner gets invited to a Giants Live. So it's for anyone in the world, it's a perfect chance to get seen.
So the open weight winner gets invited to Giants Live, because then they have competitions within competitions. So they have like the Masters World Strongest Man weight categories, women's weight categories. So there's lots going on. It's a pretty crazy weekend. What's this? T-Bell, thank you so much for the super chat. Rogue Invitational is so stacked. Could Rogue be bigger than World's Strongest Man this year in terms of best of the best? Love you guys. Cheers from North Carolina.
Yes, in terms of prize money, in terms of the lineup, I mean, the lineups, it's the same athletes, I guess. Actually, it's better because you've got Mateus back and Martins.
I think the thing with Worlds is it's so unpredictable who's going to be in the top 10.
You're going to have 3 World's Strongest Man winners in that show.
No, 4. Tom, Novikov, Martins, and Brian.
Yes, 4. 4 World's Strongest Man winners in the same show. We haven't had that. I can't remember the last time we've had that in a show.
See, at World's Strongest Man, because of the groupings, and you always end up with a group of death, we usually
Lose
don't get
good
one
athletes.
or two of the people that you think would be obviously top 10. So it will be good. I'm looking forward to it, to be honest.
The Rogue's going to be exciting.
Yeah.
It's
some
you know
interesting looking events coming out of it. I've seen like a yoke into a log.
Yeah, not a fan of that, if I'm honest. But the rest of the events look pretty good.
It'll be interesting to watch. You're supposed
Either
to
do a log or a yoke. Don't do a log into a a
yoke into a
log.
log. Very, very interesting. Will, thank you, Will. Do you recommend wearing a deadlift suit on 18-inch deadlift?
I don't recommend wearing a deadlift suit ever.
Not a fan.
Look, if you're going to compete and you're allowed to use them, then yes, learn to use them. But I would do most of your training without a suit. But obviously, if you're allowed to use a suit in a comp, then a training block building up to that in the suit is going to be recommended.
There we go. Nicola, thank you, Nicola, for the super chat. I would love to set up a strength federation, coordinate promoter events, rules for records, welfare for athletes. Love you both.
That would be amazing. It's a very hard thing to do right now.
Have like an athlete union.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Something that protects, athletes and makes sure we have standards set throughout.
Yeah, I mean, but it kind of goes against the nature of what strongman is as a sport.
It does. I mean,
we don't like. It would have to be tread carefully with it because we don't want strongman becoming too standardized, do we?
No, people have tried before. People have tried to make it really standardized, and it almost makes it a bit boring having that variety that people can do different events. I want to see new events that we've never seen before. That was always one of the beauties of like the early World's Strongest Man contest, is coming up with events that we've never seen.
Yeah,
that's why the railway drag push drag was good in Worcester.
Yeah,
the Wheel of Pain, when they introduced that at the Arnold's, that was really cool.
To be fair to Worcester, they've done that in the last few competitions. They've come up with something different.
I thought World's Strongest Man with the
train. I
thought that was cool.
Train
so
push.
Seeing new events is always fun.
And Pure Strength was brilliant for that, wasn't it?
They went a bit over the top.
Remember the log cut? That's so funny.
You can't forget something like the log cut.
Oh man, it's brilliant. There we go. Be very careful. I have my doubts about Martin's.
You don't think Martin's I think is looking good, if I'm honest. I think he's looking good
in training. Martin's is one of those ones, you watch him on YouTube leading up to a competition, he's very tired, nothing's going that well, but he is a master at peaking for competition.
Martin's, you watch him online and you think, oh, he's not so great. Suddenly he gets into a competition and he's just a different animal.
Yeah.
He knows how to train. He's a smart guy, and I expect Martin's to do very well, actually.
Yeah, and next comment as well. Mad Santa, I'm curious to see how Lysis will do. Mateus did awesome at Worcester. Super impressed. But where'd he go?
Those nerves.
But those nerves at the log press, geez, the Terminator was shaking. He genuinely was.
He really was, wasn't he? And
he had to slap his legs to try and stop them from shaking. It's almost hard to imagine that someone that good could get that scared and nervous, isn't it? But
absolutely,
he is a human being.
People look at him and think he's a Terminator, but he's just like the rest of us. He feels the nerves, and this is something I think a lot of people. It's good to tell people, actually, because a lot of people think pros are different to everyone else.
Yeah,
we all get nervous. I used to remember going to my early shows, particularly, and I'd need to go to the toilet about 10 times before an event.
Even late in your career, it was very common for you to throw up before a competition.
You
did at the Royal Albert Hall, the day of the Royal Albert Hall in Kensington. He's vomiting. Sorry, it's been a while now, so you don't mind me telling people. And we're near a bus stop. We're just trying to go to the shop to get some drinks.
I wasn't feeling that well, though, to be fair.
No, so he's chucking up all over the place. And there's a man stood waiting at the bus stop. I'm like, oh, I'm so sorry. He was like, oh, it's all right. It's Saturday morning, isn't it? I was like, well, he's not drunk.
I've not been drinking.
This man is an athlete. He's a nervous one.
I do feel so much better now.
He's got dicky tummy. John Young, welcome to Team Loz and
Liz.
Yay!
Thank you,
for signing up, John. Ed, thank you for the super chat, Ed. Why have they not introduced a world ranking system that is weighted on the strength of the field competing? The system in golf would work. Thoughts?
I think one of the issues with a ranking system is normally it goes on points, and some athletes compete a lot more than others. So you could have someone like Brian Shaw that doesn't do many comps, ranked quite low compared to guys that compete on a weekly basis.
That's the idea, though. It sort of pushes the guys to compete more often.
Strongman's a hard sport to compete in all the time. You look at Brian has never competed that often throughout his whole career.
No.
He early on he did a few more Super Series and Giants Live shows, but generally he's focused on the Arnolds and then World's Strongest Man. That's been his main focus for many, many years. And I had this conversation with someone the other day because they were going on about Zadrunas used to compete all the time. I used to compete all the time. Terry, many guys that did. The problem is the events have got so much heavier in some shows.
Yeah.
And it just does take a toll on your body. And the standard is so much higher. When Zadrunas was doing a lot of competitions, he was kind of using them as training.
Yeah.
Going at 80%, he could still win.
Still winning, yeah.
Whereas now it's much, much harder to do that.
Yeah. Lungu the Great, love you both. Thank you so much for the super chat. We'll get power a drink with it. There you go.
That's Alex.
Oh, is it?
Yes.
Oh, thank you, Alex.
It's his birthday on the weekend. Have a good one, my friend.
The Veiled Sage has joined us as well.
Yes.
Thank you so much, Veiled Sage.
Yeah.
There we go. Pre-virus amount, really. Oh, I don't really know what people are talking about. I'm trying to jump in on a conversation.
Okay. So what have we got planned coming up? We've got Britain's Strongest Man 2 weeks' time.
Yeah, that's in 3 weekends' time, I think. Not this weekend.
Not this weekend, not next weekend, but the one after that.
Yeah.
The weekend after that
is the Rogue Invitational, which if your national interest exemption comes through, you'll be going to that, but I won't.
Yes.
Then in November, we have the official Strongman Games. And then in December, possibly another WUS, but unconfirmed. So
lots to look forward to.
Yes. Do you guys have any kids? Yes, we have hordes.
We have 3 kids.
Yeah.
3 kids, 2 12-year-olds and a nearly 4-year-old.
Oh,
she's getting big now.
The boss of the house. God help us all.
The Shahlaei ranking list would be respected by all.
Nicholas joined us.
Thank you for joining, Nicola.
Thank you, Nicholas. Oba said he was ranked number 16. Where is this ranking system? I think I don't think that was a ranking system. I think that was in reference to, he said it in an interview. So if you've got the top 10, because he didn't make the final, I think he worked out how he performed against like the 3rd and 4th place guys.
It's a Wikipedia thing. They basically,
is it?
Yeah, they'll do the top 10 and then depending on, it's like 16 to 30 kind of.
Do they? I've never read that.
There's no proper rank list. There is a guy on Facebook, Stefan, I think his name is.
Yeah, Steffi.
Something. He does a ranking list. That he's just his own ranking list based on points that people have accumulated. To be honest, JF Caron is normally, when I used to check on it, he was normally number 1. I've been pretty high on there before.
Someone on Reddit has started a brand new one.
Okay.
And they're like updating it after each competition.
At the end of this year, I am going to do a video on my top 10 of 2021, my top 10 athletes of the year. So that will obviously be the official ranking. Maybe you should do one as well.
Maybe. Dustin, thank you so much for the super chat. So love everything I've seen you both do. Did I hear the Space Cowboy say something about a Giants Live in the US? Cheers from Austin, Texas.
They have done Giants Live in the US. I don't know that they've got one this year, but hopefully potentially next year. I won the Giants Live, the North American Open back in 2018.
So I saw a comment. It might have been what you're referring to on Instagram. Someone asked, can you please come to Florida? And then Giants Live responded saying, will be in Daytona Beach in November. So that's not a Giants Live show.
That's the official Strongman that we're talking about.
Yeah. But you'll get to meet us. We'll be there.
I think Zadrunas is doing that.
Zadrunas. Yes.
Zadrunas is going to that.
Pro Masters there. Nick Best? Would he be doing
I think if he's recovered. Nick Best obviously tore his lat this year.
Shivlikov, he's a master now. Jerry? I don't know.
Jerry and Shiv aren't. They're both struggling at the moment.
And they've both got the Rogue Invitational coming up also.
Yeah, I'm not sure how they're going to do it there. They don't. I mean, I've not spoken to Shiv, but obviously his injury at the Shore Classic looked pretty bad. And Jerry didn't look great. I think he's struggling with hip issues.
Had surgery, I think, and I think he's lost quite a bit of weight.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Oh, Alex is back. Thank you, Alex. Jack and I are also your kids, don't forget. That's kind of what I meant when I said we have hordes of children, because there's all the unofficial kids as well. Jack, thank you for the super chat, but we cannot see your comments, so please do comment below and we will keep an eye out for
with
it.
The sticker rolling. Is that a pear or something that's laughing there?
I don't know what that is, but thank you for it anyway, Heidi.
Bubba Pritchett should be ranked higher than OB. Bubba Pritchett is going to be good.
Colorado Wilson Social, such a shit stirrer. making us read these things out loud. It'll be taken out of context.
Oh, I'm disappointed,
someone
Andy.
Google.
Andy said he's sorry for telling me he loved me, and now he's taking it back. He meant to say he loved our videos, but now I'm
got
sad.
starstruck.
I want him to love me.
So hold on, he got overwhelmed by seeing you, and instead of saying "I love your videos," he accidentally said "I love you."
There's nothing wrong with that. That's nice.
Yeah, then people do sometimes say that, don't they?
Yeah, I love all of you guys.
You
know?
love all of your nieces and nephews,
Yes.
don't you?
They are awesome.
It was so amazing meeting so many people. Like,
Did you like it? You did.
It was quite overwhelming. It was weird to be stopped, and it was very weird to have like men come running over, tattoos on their faces, calling me auntie.
I remember when I first got into Strongman, and I'd done a few big comps, and this guy kind of came marching over to me, and he looked mean as hell.
Yes,
honestly, he looked like he was going to rip my head off. I was like, Jesus, what have I done to this guy?
Yeah.
And he came up to me, he said, "Oh, hi, Loz, do you mind if I have a photo?"
Yeah.
No worries. It's amazing to see the kind of different types of people that love the sport, because you can get the tattooed face, tough looking guy, to the old granny that just loves watching it. Young kids, it's men, women. We've got a lot more female fans that watch the channel now. I think that's thanks to Liz. She sits there, brings a bit more class and beauty to the channel.
I don't know about class. I'm like, I've got Tourette's half the time.
Maybe that's why they watch it as well.
Speaking of class, thank you so much. Who was it? Oh no, I've lost it. But they said about my nails. Thank you. I actually need to cut them because they're way too long. They're actually hindering my my thumb wars game, because
it's like you've got like equipped thumb wars.
Yeah,
it's like an extension on your thumb.
Yeah,
you beat Hixie, didn't you?
I don't use the nail. I did beat Hixie, but that was pretty easy.
We do love Loz and Liz. Thank you very much. Do you all watch the UFC at all? I do indeed. I'm going to be watching the boxing. Well, it's a late one, isn't it? Do I stay up and watch the boxing this weekend? Are you guys watching the boxing this weekend?
I think you should get up
Tyson Fury. Yeah, I think if I did it, I'd probably do that.
Colorado Wilson sauce. Worst part is Obi is my daughter's favorite strongman. I think you need to make peace with Obi. Maybe reach out to him, send him a message.
I want to go to the States and do a collab with Obi.
Do you?
Yeah, it'd be fun.
You're gonna eat some chilies together or something?
I don't know about that.
Beer with Obi. How come people don't give Titus Lallis the respect that he deserves? That's from Chris Van Dam. Thank you so much for the super.
Lallis is one of the best strongmen. He really is. Probably one of the best guys never to win World's Strongest Man. He has a great YouTube channel now, him and his brother. Go and check it out. Both of them, they're both very knowledgeable about strongman. Obviously, Lallis was an incredible athlete, but Marius is a great strongman as well. Competed recently at Europe's, or was it?
Yeah, Marius did Europe's. He came fourth, didn't he?
He was good. He was
really good.
So I'd love to see those guys compete more. I think Vititus is kind of pretty much done.
Yeah, he's retired now.
They've also got a younger brother as well.
Yeah, they do.
So, to rival the Stoltmans.
Yeah, he's actually competing already, isn't he?
He is, yeah. He does very well.
Yeah.
Mikhail, welcome to the team. Thank you very much for joining our membership. What do people get with a membership?
They get custom emojis, which you've seen in the comments.
Are they going to get more?
They get a little badgie. Yeah, there will be more emojis. And I have been chucking up my my scraps.
Scraps.
No, just like when I make a video, I like it to have a beginning, a middle, and end. Yeah. And sometimes I've got fun little clips that don't actually fit or work anywhere, and they're not a video in their own right. So I've been given those as like extras and stuff. So
it's just an opportunity to support us. I mean, I've seen some people say, "Oh, don't kind of put it behind a paywall or something like that." That's not the case. We're still going to post as much
all of our normal
that
stuff
we normally do.
Yeah.
It's just a way to, so there's people that say they want to help and support us. So it like I said, Liz is the one that puts the effort into the page more than you put hours into this. You really do.
It's a full-time job for me. It's
and we've got so many things that we want to do. We want to travel all over. Next year, hopefully a trip to the States where we get to go all over.
Yeah, that'd be good.
Jiminy Crickets is in the house.
I love Big Loz, Lil Liz, and good lighting. Don't we all? This is this isn't bad lighting. You had that light way too close. I was stark white.
You're looking good.
Oh, thanks,
Looking
babe.
lovely.
Oh, you're so sweet. Did you hear that, guys? He said something nice. There you go. Oh, look, Mikhail, look, he's enjoying his little emoji. There you go. It's the LOL one. I love Obus YouTube videos, cracking safes with teeny boppers and failing 1 kilo burgers. I just think his bark is worse than his bite. And also he never competes. Fair points, Colorado. But no, he's not a bad guy, Obus.
No, I've seen him do some very good things.
What's that? Someone said he's a broken down pile of meat. You guys are harsh. Like, I need to stop reading these comments because it's just you're gonna hear a soundbite somewhere.
We've got lots of Fury fans in the comments. Good. I want to see Fury win.
Yeah,
I do.
Who doesn't?
Yeah, Fury. I had a lot of respect for Wilder until that last fight, and he's just come up with so many excuses. I don't like excuses.
Nah.
You know, if you lose, just take it as it is and move on.
Yeah.
I think Fury's going to knock him out.
Someone asking if Belsac is still alive. Very much so.
Belsac posted something on Instagram.
I was going to say, he's got like a bionic hip now, hasn't he?
He wants to get back
surgery.
into strongman. He does. I mean, another great strongman as well. There's just so many. The list is endless of how many talented guys are out there. It's making sure you look after yourself and promote yourself in the right way so that you can have that longevity in the sport.
Yeah. How was pulling Devon, Lazo?
Oh, God.
Impossible.
Yeah. Like, I was just like a little boy, and he's kind of just stood there, not even giving a damn.
Yeah.
He was lovely, you know, really nice to me, giving me some good tips. Not that they helped in the slightest, but it was great to kind of pull against Devon. I'm
a middle-aged, plump lassie from Berkshire, but when I go to strongman events, I become a crazy fan. Don't we all, Nicola? Like, I find myself just shouting for absolutely everyone, even at like you remember the log and deadlift championships, Kim, who I just met that day, when he went up, I got that nervous feeling again. I don't know what it is. I was like,
I love
the adrenaline.
I love when I go to a show. Sometimes when I go to a show, I'll just kind of like quietly look at people in the crowd and see how they react to the things that are going on.
Yeah.
And it's brilliant. You just see these like well-to-do people all of a sudden they're going mental and cheering for their favorites. It's just
remember
great.
That photo from the push-pull competition you did at the beginning of last year where you're doing your bench press?
Yes.
And the photo's taken from behind Loz, so all you can see is the crowd and everyone's
Liz.
like they're shouting. Mine was the worst though, wasn't it? I look absolutely psychotic.
The other thing I love is kind of just listening to people's partners at competitions. So when I go to like a novice show or something like that, listening to the partners supporting the you know, it's just some of the things that people say in strongman, like get it up, get it up, get it up. And there's just a lot of innuendos in there that people don't sort of realize.
Yeah, what they're shouting, maybe.
Yes. Anyway. Larry just posted a video with Levin. That's cool. I think Levin's moved out to Dubai.
Yeah, so apparently.
He's got some big arm wrestling things lined up. Alex Nicholson, thank you for the post, buddy. Just wanted to say, hey, Jim's Wi-Fi was jumping out for most of, so sorry for not joining earlier. Was looking forward to listening to this, but can't wait to watch it back. Thank you, buddy. I hope you had a good training session. It's one of my clients.
Oh, here we go. We should see the members' comments as well.
That was
that was for those interested. Oh, apparently Pablo is about to release a video on his YouTube explaining the 3-year-long drama and conflicts he has had with Alexei from his perspective.
Oh, everyone's going to leave now and go to that. One to check out.
And Forza, thank you so much for the super chat. I think I'm getting old because I say British boxing isn't as good now as the good old days of Joe
Kawasaki.
Thank you. And Ricky Hatton.
We've had some great British boxers. I think right now we've got some good ones, but I guess boxing is a bit like most sports. It goes through those cycles of being more popular. I think maybe UFC sort of taken over a little.
Bloody Colorado Awesome Sauce. Thoughts on the Hall Wheels competition? Oh, sorry. Thank you for the super chat. He just loves to get in those questions. Thoughts on the Hall / Larry
Honestly,
Wheels.
I think Eddie needs to chill and focus on knocking Thor out and worry less about Larry Wheels and some of these comments.
It's all good for views and stuff.
It's all promotion. It's all talk.
Do you think his feelings were hurt?
I hope not.
Well, I don't.
I tell you what, I did see something that upset me. I saw someone mentioning something about Eddie's kids.
Yeah, that's
And
horrible.
say what you want about
Yeah.
Eddie or Thor or any of the athletes, but don't bring people's kids into it. That's kind of not on at all.
No.
So I don't agree with things
No.
like that. But Thor and Eddie can say what they want to each other.
Yeah.
They're big grown men. They're going to get in the ring. They'll sort their differences out, or they won't. But leave people's families and kids out of it.
Yeah, I think Larry handled himself very well. Like, the more I see of Larry, the more I like him. Not that I ever disliked him. I just didn't know him. But obviously we spent a bit of time with him in Dubai. And as for Eddie, because he said in the video that he was upset. But then I think he said in his sort of summary afterwards on YouTube that he wasn't upset. So I don't know if he's just like, using it as an opportunity.
You never know with Eddie. He's a smart guy and he knows how to promote things.
Yeah.
So I hope it didn't upset him.
No, hopefully not.
He's a big, tough guy. I'm sure he'll cope.
I'm sure he'll cope. There we go. Any team strongman events in the near future? None that we know of.
I mean, the last team comp that
would have been one of Glenn's.
Yeah, Glenn Ross runs a few, and I've competed in a few in Ukraine before as well.
Yeah, that's a long time ago.
That was going back a number of years, but they were always good fun. I like the team shows, and I think they're good for the athletes to compete in, but they're great for people watching as well.
Thank you for the lovely sticker. That's a nice, relevant one. Derek, loved all of the Wuss and Arnold's videos. Plenty of fun and laughter. In your recent training video, you mentioned a new training system. Can you chat about it? Thank you, Derek.
Thank you very much, Derek. So yes, me and my team are coming up with a more generic type of training system for powerlifting and for strongman. So I do personal training. My personal training is full on. It's tailored for each individual. You get access to me 24/7, where we obviously go through technique. I can work on mental strength because that's something I feel is really important. And I think with training, it's a good opportunity to help your mental state. So I'm very good on kind of keeping on top with that. But obviously the one-to-one training with me is a lot more expensive, whereas this is going to be a much more affordable approach for anyone. So it's going to be focused mainly to start with on powerlifting and strongman. I've got a real good team working on it, and it should be up and running within the next month or so.
Yeah. And there's going to be like a community forum and stuff. So it's going to be like a good sort of network of people that, but not like as personalized to
not like you won't get to chat to me every single day, but it's still going to be very good.
There we go. So where did we get to? Thank you. That was Derek. And then Forza, could Liz and Kerry Shaw start feuding reviews?
Liz and Kerry Shaw are both too lovely.
Yeah, so I don't think me and Kerry could have
them two smack talk would be.
It would be pathetic. It would be really quite embarrassing, actually, wouldn't it? But thank you for the super chat and the suggestion.
I think you'd rather go shopping with Kerry, than you'd probably rather do
That's
that. Than,
very.
Well, I was going to say you'd probably rather have a training session, but then I would be lying. So I thought I'd go with a all right, a drink. There we go.
Right, there we go. Stop being so offensive, honestly. Shopping. You know I shop from home. But Sean, thank you so much for the very generous super chat.
Thank you very much, Sean.
Hey guys, just wanted to say I love you guys. Love your coverage of the events. Any tips to improve my deadlift? March is my first open competition, competing in the under 220 pounds. Is that under 105s in my speaking?
220 is 100 kilos.
Right.
Yeah, it's really hard without seeing your deadlift and knowing where you're weaker. What you've been doing. There's so many factors when it comes to lifts. I could say go buy one of my training programs for deadlifting.
Maybe ask Sean to send you a video.
Yeah, if you're on Instagram, Sean, send me a video. I'll check out your form, see where you're strong, see where you're weaker, and give you some tips. But it's very hard to just say do this to improve your deadlift, because honestly, there's not like a one-way fits all type system.
But there you go. Slide into Uncle Loz's DMs and he is going to sort you.
I do try and reply to people. I go through like stages of I'll go through a load.
You need to look out for Sean. I'm writing his name down. There you go. Just in case loads of people start sending you their deadlifts. I'm Sean. Sean, there you go.
Super chatted a very generous amount. So
Super Steve Walnut, thank you. I think your comment has got lost. I am trying to keep an eye out for the missing super chats in the comments. So Super Steve, write that down as well. There we go.
Ooh.
There we are. I think we're up together with everyone. Here we go. I try now to read the comments before I say them out loud, because sometimes
after last week with Jamie?
some rude things, isn't there? Glad you like
He just likes trying to catch you out.
Raymond, glad you like the sharpened picture. He sort of an old picture of mine. He sharpened it up for me and made it lovely.
Thank you.
Yeah.
You're making lots of friends doing this, aren't you?
I am. And I'm such a bad friend. Like, I don't reply to my messages.
You don't reply to messages I send you.
No,
So if Liz doesn't reply to you, don't feel offended. She doesn't reply to me. She doesn't reply to her sisters. You know, you're just horrible. You're a terrible friend.
No, I've got my headphones on. I'm working. I don't have time. I do reply to some people.
You do.
Just not you.
You used to reply to me.
I did, but I have you now. I don't need to reply to your messages.
That's true.
I replied to Rauno.
Simon Cobb, any update on when Luke Richardson might be returning? I'm guessing Luke is going to be coming back for Britain's Strongest Man next year, which is February.
Yeah, apparently.
So it's you got Britain's Strongest Man in October, and then 2022 is in February.
Yeah.
So it's not going to be a long title defense for whoever wins it.
No, definitely not. And yeah, because Tom was saying about doing it this year, winning it, and then pulling out of next year's just because
he wants to focus on Worlds.
Yeah. So it's going to be interesting.
So he's going to put pressure on himself to win this year's.
Yeah, because what's the plan?
Do you know what's
going to
be cool
win it?
With Britain's? You have the world's strongest man versus Europe's strongest man versus Britain's strongest man.
Yeah.
Who's going to win it?
I
Obviously.
need to see confirmation. Liz only responds to Felix and
she'd
Rauno.
reply to Grizzly.
Yeah, but he hasn't slid into my DMs. Felix only messages me when he's lost and doesn't know where he's supposed to be. What time? Where? When? It's true, isn't it?
Bless him.
When he needs a bit of spiritual guidance. Sean, thank you for the super chat, Sean. I appreciate that. Didn't know that you had deadlift program. I'll go by that. Oh, bless him. Thank you. I'm fairly good for 13-inch pull and up, but from the ground, I'm struggling. I'll see if I can send you one. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, send me one. If you're on
He'll
Instagram,
help
send me
you out.
one and I'll look out for you on there. But yeah, if you're struggling off the floor more, speed work, making sure your form is right from the floor. That's kind of something that a lot of people get wrong. I like using a leg press with a deadlift stance so that your kind of feet are as they would be on your deadlift. But yeah, deficit deadlifts, they're good as well. But there's lots that you can do to improve the power off the floor.
Bron Chopped, I think Bush is going to pull it off. Do you know what? With the events that I think they're going to announce tomorrow, I think you could be right. It does look good for Bish, doesn't it?
We will obviously do predictions on Britain's Strongest Man, go through the events, going through the athletes.
Actually, on Sunday night, you and
that's going to be
Strength
fun.
and Dan Hipkiss. So both of those are strongman coaches who have athletes in the competition. So you three are going to do a live together, aren't you?
Yeah, there's going to be a lot of
Sunday.
knowledge about strongman in one video. So make sure you guys are tuned in.
And then 9 o'clock? Me to moderate.
On Sunday?
9 o'clock this Sunday, yeah. Cool. 9 p.m. UK time. Super Steve, thank you for the super chat. In your opinion, what 6 to 8 events would you pick to choose the strongest? P.S. My last donation didn't have a chat because I just wanted to do it. Bless you.
Thank you very much, Steve.
6 to 8 events to pick the strongest. See, that sounds to me like not the most balanced strongman competition in terms of moving and static. It's more about who is just strongest. Max everything. No, go on. 6 to 8 varied events.
I don't know why, but I'm obsessed with wanting to see a backlift right now. Right. Mainly because it's something that people can't really train.
Yeah. So
I think, and it's brute strength through your whole body. So I think a backlift would be cool.
Backlift, max deadlift.
You gotta have a deadlift in there.
Heavy log for reps.
Either heavy log or axle. They're both great overhead events.
Maybe a medley.
Maybe like a heavy medley, such as like a yoke into a farmer's or something like that.
Or a yoke into a log lift.
No.
Power stairs.
Power stairs is cool, especially if it's heavy.
Natural stones.
Yes, I like natural stones. I do.
Go on, then you choose some.
I've just been agreeing with you on.
Yeah, I know. We're
truck pull or a plane pull or something like that. That's always cool.
Yeah.
I think that's very classic World's Strongest Man test of.
And then maybe a push also, like the Titans turntable or something like that. Yeah,
that's cool. But I guess the reason I like strongman and the reason I sort of don't say someone's the best just because they win one comp is because I like to see who's the most consistent across so many events. And, it's what makes strongman exciting. It's not always the same events. It's not always the same winners. And, it makes it fun.
There we go. Dylan, thank you for the super chat, Dylan. If you guys were given the opportunity to invent a new strongman event, what would the event look like? Oh my God, that's really hard.
I feel like
Straight away,
I'm
or
at
blank.
school now and I've got to go and do a project and come up with an event.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll try.
What,
I mean,
what,
I do
would
like
it test?
I want something to test your whole body
Body.
strength. So not just shoulders or legs or speed or whatever, but I like a full total body test. That's why I kind of keep getting obsessed with like the backlift right now.
Yeah, mine would be a ridiculous medley that would involve wheelbarrows.
You'd probably have us breaking through ice and wood and
I
falling
would.
on our asses.
I'd have you basically building me a house or something like that really quickly. Bring the bricks, a wheelbarrow, and then you'd be doing some sort of like a pool. And oh, mine would be brilliant and practical because you get
Yes.
something out of it.
Jan Miller, you are half Iranian. Yes, that's correct. My father was Iranian. My mother was from Newcastle.
Sean, thank you for the super chat, Sean. The Stockman's not doing Rogue anymore. The Stockmans haven't had, just like Loz, haven't had national interest exemption come through yet because it's relying on that.
Waiting to confirm. But
because I think there are different types of national interest. So you can get multiple entry, you can get it for 30 days. And World's Strongest Man basically got them a 2 entry thing. So they could also go to the Short Classic. So they can't use that. They're waiting on it to come through. So I guess, like, you know, it's hard for them to say to talk about it or do much with that too much when they don't know if they're going.
They are planning on going, but they're focused on Britain's first.
Yeah. Jurta Strokes into loudest war cry. Nothing tests strength more. Yes, there we go. And we all know who'd win that one.
I've got to try some of those soon.
Yeah, you should do.
I need to do a session trying Grizzly's training methods.
Does Liz do anything else? I look after my 3 kids.
And 3 kids, husband, works full time. You're a pretty busy woman, to be fair.
Yeah.
Thoughts
on IPF worlds? I don't know.
Shout out to Kim and Hixie, who are sat watching us instead of being in bed having cuddles.
Thanks, Graham and Kim.
We love you guys. Have a cuddle for us.
Don't make it weird, Loz. Don't make it weird.
They're my friends.
No, don't make them uncomfortable. They're just trying to sit and
Hixie's not going to be uncomfortable. Kim might.
No, Kim's married to a strong man. You can't make her uncomfortable that easily.
Hixie will come and give me a cuddle.
Look, we've got a new member there. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Thanks for your answer. Right,
Ben Brunning.
Oh, Ben Brunning's
you guys
here.
Love the channel. Is that the Ben Brunning? I hope it is.
If it is Ben, we had a question about you. Are you coming back to Strongman or have you retired? We weren't sure. We gave conflicting answers.
Want to know what Ben is doing.
Please do let us know. There we go. Right, we'll wait for Ben before we go. There we go.
What's this one?
Ben in the house.
Big Loz official. Does Atlas stones carry over to deadlift or any other exercise? And does Viking press carry over to standard barbell over press? Yes, Atlas stones. You're going to be using back muscles, leg muscles. So all these movements carry over.
It's not the same one. It's not the same one. Oh, it's all right, Ben. As you were, but welcome anyway.
Yes. Well, thank you very much for the message. Regardless.
He only said it.
he did compete, but he's not the Ben Brunning.
Oh, okay.
He's not the Ben Brunning that got a 2nd place in the Giants Live.
No, okay.
Atlas stones are going to help you deadlifting, lifting up sacks. They all use the same muscle groups. This is where a lot of people go wrong with training. They think that they're going to get weak if they stop doing a certain movement, but most of the movements you do work the same muscle groups. So you can actually improve doing something else sometimes and give your body a break from a lift and still make great progress.
There you go. People are like, oops, and stuff.
Not the same one. I'm disappointed.
The same one. Right. I think we should wrap it up now. Oh, no, we can't. Simon, thank you for the super chat. I joined late. Any news on the Auntie Liz t-shirts? Have I won? Almost definitely. If you were the man sending me loads of t-shirt designs, then you almost definitely did win. What we'll do, we are going to have more stuff launched on the store very soon, aren't we? And we will seriously look at the possibility of doing an Auntie Liz t-shirt.
We've got to now,
even though I think that's ridiculous. And then when we announce it in the video, I will show all of the worthy mentions, because
we do want to push the merchandise a little bit more. We've just not been able to, just because we're both so busy. But we are working on things so that we can make that better. Are we both married? Yes, we're married. Unfortunately, to each other.
If we're both married.
He said, are you guys married?
Oh, yes. Right. Do you remember at first people were like, Like, are you two in a relationship? I was like, yeah.
I just thought, she might know a bit about Strongman. So
Yeah, no, I'm just
get her on the channel.
some woman that turns up. I'm a professional presenter now.
How did you like being dragged onto stage by Radzi the other day?
Oh God, Loz, I wanted to die. I honestly did. It was awful.
Radzi's brilliant. And
I saw it coming as well. You went up because I was watching on a TV from out back, and then when he said, "Where's Auntie Liz?" I thought, no, honestly, could have cried.
It was brilliant. I like seeing you in those awkward situations.
Oh man, it was hard. Like my mind just goes blank. And
Sue wants merch in ladies sizes too. We actually have some
we
ladies
have
tops
them ready
available
to
in the Loz merch if you like.
yeah, ladies.
It's just it will be back on the website very soon.
Yes,
won't
it will. Yeah,
we've just had to give Liz a little rest because
Uncle Loz's sweatshop was absolutely killing me. Like. We don't have a good setup here. We didn't have the space for it, so
no, we're sort of
we're climbing over boxes to get to t-shirts.
We're in an awkward position, aren't we? We're sort of in a smaller house than we kind of need to be.
Yeah,
and we're saving for a bigger place, but eventually we'll get there, won't we?
Yeah, we will.
In the meantime, we get to have our blue background and be cramped in the house.
Cramped is not like shoebox, but like for everything that we want to be able to do working from home, we do need a bit more space.
From reading these comments, we need Liz merch, we need signed autograph tops.
I'll write this down as well because you know what my brain's like. Yeah, signed autograph tops.
Not tops.
No, autograph photos. Yeah. That's fine. I've written it down. You'll be pleased to hear.
And again, thank you to all the new members. We really appreciate it. If you do want to become a member of the channel, how can people do that?
And there is a link in the video descriptions. I sent you the first one, Space Cowboy.
Space Cowboy.
Oh, I do remember that one. Sorry, Simon, I don't think you won, but thank you for the super chat. My favourites, I think, was me in my wedding dress being carried off by Grizzly. That one was very clever.
That was funny.
And very erotic.
Look at this.
What's that?
Is it the Liz reaction?
Brilliant,
guys. Right.
Are we up together?
We're gonna let Hixie and Kixie go and cuddle up.
Yeah.
And we will speak to you guys very, very soon.
Yes. Thank you all so much for joining us. And
don't forget, Sunday night, we're going to be live again with Dale McPherson and Dan Hipkiss.
Yeah, to talk more about Britons, because by then we'll have the events announced as well. And obviously those guys coach Tom, Luke, Andy, anyone else who's in that
Ben
competition?
Brunning. Not Ben Brunning.
Gav, who's not in the competition.
Yeah, Gav, but also Des.
Des. There you go. So we've got a few guys. Right. Goodbye, everyone.
Take it easy, guys. We're going to do our weird wave that you're making us do.
Oh, yeah. Hold on. Let me get my finger ready over the button. Just, right, say, just smile and wave, boys. Keep going.